lead tastings and workshops at the Vinexpo, and our master of wine, Jeannie, also led a few lessons of food and wine pairing. The lesson I'm attending now is probably the most difficult pairing, and that's spicy Thai food with wine. There were a few Thai dishes to be paired with, like spicy papaya salad, rice paper rolls, and tasty shrimp cake and curry. And in my opinion, to be truly authentic, yes, these dishes should be prepared by a kind old Thai lady in Bangkok. But it is still a good experience to learn how to pair wine with spicy Thai food. Of course, you can expect there will be wines and bottles in a wine exhibition. But what you can't expect is a luxurious sports car right here at the center of the exhibition hall.
Now, I can't believe they have such a beautiful exotic car here at the exhibition. Now, besides red and white wine, spirits are a major feature here at the Vinexpo.
Wine is usually made out of grapes, but often also from berries and fruit. Spirits, like gin, vodka, and whiskey, are distilled from grains, sometimes with added fruit and berry flavors. There are many different variations of cocktails made from spirits, and here at Vinexpo, over 1,800 cocktails were served over 3 days.
That's delicious. So we certainly won't miss the opportunity to learn more about spirits. And this year, there's a new bar, the Spiritual Bar, showcasing the vibrant world of spirits around the world. Now, have you heard of the Mayflower or Tango in Paris? How about China Blue? Well, there's a lot of new flavors waiting for us here all.
Surprises are everywhere at Vinexpo. To explore the world of wine, this is a great place to start with, and you'll see how fascinating the wine world truly is. And now, C'est la Vie's third lesson. What is the essential wine etiquette we need to pay attention to?
So did you like the movie?
Yeah, it was great. The acting was really good.
Yeah.
And I really can't wait to watch it again.
Really? Wow. And what about the dinner? Is everything I prepared nice?
It's so nice, very sweet and so overwhelming. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi. I'll do that. Thank you. Here, some wine.
Anthony, I think that's the water glass.
What are you
How
talking
about
about?
you use this one?
A glass is a glass, right? They look the same.
Sure.
Oh, all right. Sorry. I'll do it properly.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. Wait, hang on. That's a lot of wine. Are you trying to get me drunk or something?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Here, you take that.
Thank you.
I'll get some for myself. I'm sorry. It's embarrassing. I guess I'm nervous.
In the restaurant, of course, I think it's always easier if you leave the wine waiter or the waiter to serve your bottle of wine. This will avoid any accidents that will cause you even more stress at the table during your dinner. And you don't really want to serve too much wine in the glass, because the more wine you will serve in the glass, the warmer the wine will become in the glass as well. So it's really important to serve just the right amount and really to leave the rest of the wine in the bottle.
Simon, Greg, welcome. I'm so happy that you're able to share this dim sum meal with me. Wonderful to see you. Cheers. Cheers. And I know you know each other, but I just briefly want to introduce Simon Staples of Berry Brothers in Red here in Hong Kong, and Greg Dieb of Crown Wine Cellars. I have to say, when I travel abroad and I'm away for more than a week, one of the things I really miss about Hong Kong is the dim sum, because I like the variety. I like it's like the tapas feeling of being able to have different textures, flavors. You know, we have 2 steamed dishes here. I thought what we would try with the first, steam dishes that are really based on shrimp is a Cloudy Bay, 2013, young, fresh, vibrant. You know, some people might think, and you can tell me what you think, is that Sauvignon Blanc is, from New Zealand, is kind of aggressive in its flavor profile because of its herbaceous character. So, you know, maybe one thing to think about is while we're enjoying these 2 shrimp dishes is Is this as good as maybe Sancerre or Pinot Grigio?
And actually, the first reaction you get, it actually accentuates the Sauvignon Blancness.
It does.
If there's such an expression, it makes it more New Zealandy or herbaceous.
I think the fact that the dim sum occupies such a central part of your palate, it creates that great foundation, which allows the wine just to explode on the top of it. So,
well, I started out with the Hargau, and you didn't, but with this, I felt as though the character of the wine came out much stronger than the character of this more delicate steamed prawn. So is it a perfect pairing? Probably it could be better, because I think the aggressiveness of that herbaceousness, if you like herbs sprinkled on your Hargau, why not?
I certainly do.
So we've come to our final two dishes. For this last pairing, I thought what we might do is really do kind of a compare and contrast, which is why we have two different glasses in front of us. So one is the 2012 Dr. L by Lucen. And we have Vin Romanée Village 2008 by Albert Bichot. So I thought with something that's pork-based, one is steamed, everyone's favorite shumai, and we have char siu, another favorite Hong Kong dish. I was wondering, maybe, do both wines work well? Does one wine work particularly better than the other?
every single gathering, Jeannie, and especially family gatherings where there's a lot of emotion and sentiment going, you will always see it out there. So it's a great sign. It's part of daily life. Cheers, cheers. Always so wonderful. That combination of texture and flavour.
Now, Greg and I have gone for the same combo as having the Riesling with it, and it works much better than I thought it would do.
I agree with you. I think of all the combinations we've had today, and I don't know whether I'm being misled by colour coding here, but they do tend to match. I like it. I really like it.
Personally, for me, I prefer the Vin Romanée. It's because I feel like it doesn't alter the flavor and balance of this dish.
Ironically, what you've just said now about changing the flavor profile, I find that the Burgundy tastes the flavor, or changes the flavor more.
Bizarre with Burgundy, you say subtle flavors. That actually tastes strong, doesn't it?
Yeah, very powerful. Yeah, and I find when it enters my palate, it creates an absolute clean sheet.
Yeah, it gets rid of the dumpling completely.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's delicious.
It brings out the porkiness.
Exactly. Riesling is wonderful with the char siu.
It makes it taste different. It makes it highlight totally
It
the pork
highlights,
flavour.
it brings it out, it enhances it because of the honey.
It takes away the sweet honey glaze and just actually makes you taste the pork.
We're hosting a lunch for friends, right? Yeah. And we have dim sum, you can only choose one. Right. And it's something that everybody must really enjoy and reach the middle ground. Yes. Okay, I'm going with the Riesling. Being refreshing, low alcohol content, being able to complement as much as possible, and thinking back to what we had earlier versus what we're having now, and that transcending of dim sum and having some meat dishes to follow, which everybody would enjoy. And my estimation that with something, if you had to bring in a stir-fried vegetable or what have you, just to refresh and be healthy, I think this little guy would actually do it on every level.
It was a great discovery. We have to do this again.
Absolutely.
Don't you think?
I think
and we
so.
have to do it, I think next time it has to be the challenge of pairing dim sum with only red wines.
Cheers. Thanks very, very much.
Great. Thank you.
Oh, always a pleasure. Cheers. Cheers, Jeannie.
Cheers.
Great to see you. Really great to see you.
To explore the world of wine, follow us to France, the quintessential wine region of the world. First, Jeannie and I will head to Bordeaux, the oldest and largest wine-growing region. Here, we will visit different chateaux, meet some of the biggest names in the wine world, and reveal their secrets to producing the finest wines in the world. And we made sure to check out the hottest event in Bordeaux, Fête la Vin. So let's explore the world of wine together. Besides workshops, lots of food and wine tasting, it's really just like a carnival. You can enjoy music shows, a Hollywood film, or take a walk in the art garden. A lot of interesting activities await you. So in 2016, don't miss it when you come to France.
Wow, what a fantastic day. Now, over 9 hours, I've been trying different foods and different wines. Probably had a little bit too much wine, but that's okay, right? That's why we're here. And that's one thing I noticed about the French here. They love their wine, but more importantly, they know how to have a good time. Because that's what life's all about, right? Having good times with your family and your friends. And I can't wait for the rest of the night, because we have a really big light show and fireworks coming up.
Every day at 11 p.m., a multimedia light show will be projected on the facade of the Palais de la Bourse. Now, this is a spectacular and original event, which will transport the viewers into the universe of vines and wines. The show is highly creative and imaginative and bigger than life. And I found it a perfect blend of technology with old French heritage, which simply adding to the Bordeaux famous charm.
Now that was the most spectacular light show I think I've ever seen. You get these picturesque buildings with these beautiful array of colors of lights. For 15 minutes, it was spectacular because what I loved is it showed the beauty of Bordeaux, and it took me on a journey through the winemaking history of here. I couldn't believe the array of lights that were shined on these buildings. Now, the best part's coming up. We're going to see the amazing fireworks.
I arrived on the last day, so I'm lucky enough to enjoy the fireworks show. It was originally an international firework festival event, which is a competition between a few countries, including France. Now, this spectacular fireworks is on the edge of the Garonne riverbanks, directly in front of the Palais de la Bourse. The light show and the fireworks were fantastic. It makes for a beautiful night in Bordeaux, which I would never forget. The name of La Conciliant appears in the middle of the 18th century. It has been given by Miss Catherine Conciliant, who ran the estate almost 300 years ago. And in 1871, the Nicholas family bought the property, and the terroir and plots remain unchanged today. Today, the estate is managed by the 5th generation, assuring continuity and the historical attachment of a family to a great wine. What impressed us the most is the vat house. It's just like a scene out of a sci-fi movie, with a secret basement, ultra-modern design. That really impressed me. The newly designed vat house can individually make specific wine of each of the 18 mini plots that make up their 12 hectares. There will be a lot of great wine produced from here.
Jean-Michel Laporte, you know, it's always a pleasure for me to be here at La Conciliant, but I want to introduce you to my co-host of this wine show. This is Anthony.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Great. So what's the first vintage that you
So we'll begin with 2008, because I think it's a very interesting vintage in terms of balance. So it really represents the style of the chateau.
And you mentioned violets. So I think it's in our heads, because when you smell a young La Conciliant, this is what you smell.
Pictures all over, just to make you taste violet.
It is. It tastes young, it's fresh. And yeah, the hints of violet, like you said, are definitely in there.
For me, this 2008 is fairly young. When will this open then? It's already 6 years old?
It's already 6 years old. This one, if you want to gain some more complexity, let's wait another 2 or 3 years.
Yes. What's the next
If
vintage?
we move on to the other one,
Yes.
That's 2001. And 2001 has a big trouble. It just came after 2000.
That's the trouble.
Exactly. So nobody really took consideration of it. But personally, it's one of my favorites. I joined Conciliant in 2004, and 2001 is the vintage that inspired me.
Now we're in the 80s.
88. That when 2008, 2009, and 2010 came, everybody was remembering the fabulous trilogy of 88, 89, and 90.
Yes.
It's very smooth as well.
It's evolved beautifully.
It's
This is at its peak. You know, unlike the younger wines, the texture and the tannins are silkier. It's elegant because, not just because of la Conseillon, but also because of age. It's a great, I think, profile of what la Conseillon is all about. And it's about classic elegance and balance.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The next chateau we're going to visit is Chateau Cheval Blanc.
In the last few days, we've toured many different chateaus. And yes, they're gorgeous with their serene beauty and their architecture, but this chateau absolutely blew my mind. And what I really admire is that they had the courage to step outside of what a chateau design should look like, you know, with the rich history and culture and everything. But what they've done here is pioneered new architectural design absolutely to new levels.
Although it is a chateau with fantastic modern design, it also boasts a long history in making wines. As of 2012, its wine is one of only 4 to receive the highest rank of Premier Grand Cru Classé A status in the classification of Saint-Emilion wine.
Pierre Lurton, thank you for having me at Cheval Blanc today. It's always a delight to taste Cheval Blanc with you, and I know you've prepared some wonderful vintages for us. But before we begin, I know you've got so much going on in the chateau.
Now I have the long experience with Cheval Blanc because I arrived, I have 22 and 23 years in Cheval Blanc for the 91. But I think they have a lot of changement. But the philosophy of the wine don't change. It's the elegance in a time. But my philosophy is to make the wine in a vineyard. Since 4 years, I have the very nice exchange with my shareholders. It's necessary to have a new cellar. And he say, if you build a new cellar, I think it's very important to have the image of the 21st centuries.
It is.
And when you see the cellar, is a double hills in the middle of the landscape, is a well integration, but also the architecture is the 21st centuries. But inside, Jeannie, is the 19th centuries. And this attitude shows the great temporality of the wine of Cheval Blanc.
Yes, yes. I think it really well reflects your philosophy of looking in the future, but definitely rooted in the past and history.
You keep your feet in the ground.
In the ground. So we're tasting the 2001 vintage, and the question I think a lot of people who have Cheval Blanc in their cellar has in their mind is, okay, is 2001 ready to drink, and what are the vintages we should look at to enjoy now?
I think the 2001 is a great surprise for me. It's the vintage of the right bank, but is a vintage for the Merlot because they have the large proportion of Merlot. In general, and it's very easy to drink, and because you have the Merlot, very round, it's not aggressive. But after for the aging, the Cabernet is fantastic.
To me, it's still very young and very intense. You have the approachability of the Merlot, but the length, the finish, and just the persistence tells me it will be even better in 5 to 10 years. 2000, it would be wonderful to compare the two vintages.
Yes, exactly. 2000 is an amazing vintage, and a lot of people speak about this vintage. The number is magic, and the wine also.
And the nose already has more of a Cabernet Franc character.
Exactement.
Oui. Just a little bit more herbal, more tobacco, both darker fruits, but this is just rounder, the one.
Jeannie, are you interested to compare the two great vintage also in the 2000
Yes.
and 98?
Yes.
98 is a great surprise.
Unlike the 2001 also is very fleshy and generous, but the 98 is, all the aromas are finally opening up. To me, this is just reaching its peak, right? Young, but able to enjoy right now.
the 98. 3 vintages showed such different personalities. We're always looking forward to the next vintage because we know that you're always working for the next one. These are wonderful vintages, but we have yet to see the very best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pierre. Enjoy.
Jeannie.